just outside the Union. I can't see the button. It's awfully more peaceful on Cornmarket Street with people playing some nice music. We're going to try the other entrance. We're going to try the other entrance of the Oxford Union and see if it's as busy, see if it's still got protesters, see if people are able to get inside. I'd have quite liked to get in just to use the library today, do a bit of studying. I don't know if this is going to be of any interest to anybody because I have no idea what we're going to expect. But I can hear distant protests. I can hear them coming. Let's go and find out what's going on.
Bigger.
Okay. Where did Max go? Is he in front of us?
He went ahead of us. I don't know.
That's fine.
It's kind of eerie in the back alley.
It's very eerie in the back alley. This is the other entrance. This is the other entrance to the Oxford Union, which you can see is just as blocked up. Let's go and see if we can do what they're chanting. Who protects the fascists? Police protects the fascists is the new... Now the Union protects the fascists.
Who protects the right to protest? Police protect the right to protest.
Who is the enemy? White supremacy. 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 No Barcelona. No Barcelona. No Barcelona. No Barcelona.
I'm just doing a bit of filming. You don't have a camera, but I was wondering.
No Barcelona.
So, do you mind?
I don't think it's good for everyone.
Of course not. Just to do so. A bit quieter might be nice. I'm doing a quick live stream for a few hundred people. I'm just doing a little live stream, trying to figure out what's going on here.
I can't speak for the entire group, so I don't think I would want to kind of put my voice.
That's fine. You don't want to just speak to yourself? Because you must be here for a particular reason. Like why are you here?
Yeah. I guess I just disagree with the notion of giving Bannon a platform to express kind of like views. It's not so much anti-free speech, which I feel like is a false narrative that people are trying to like push on this, but there's a distinct difference between giving someone a platform and also the credentials of having spoken at Oxford opposed to just like speaking. It's not something like doing
Sure, I see. Do you think that by giving someone a platform and letting them say what they want to say without endorsing it, the Union is implicitly endorsing what he's saying, or do you think that it's possible to invite someone to speak without endorsing what they're saying?
I think that it has less to do with I do think there is some sort of implicit endorsement regarding the legitimacy of his views.
The legitimacy, okay.
And the place that those views should have in kind of like public discourse, right? But I think that, moreover, it's kind of, but it's more that the kind of, it's the kind of power that he has and the influence that he has in the public discourse and the public sphere that I think should not be facilitated by a university like Oxford, right? There's a lot of legitimizing power that comes with like having spoken at Oxford.
What would you say about the fact that the officers offered him a debate and he rejected it? He said he wouldn't speak with Yanis Varoufakis, and so they gave him a solo interview, a Q&A session.
Yeah, I mean, I think that...
Do you think that the debate would have been fine? Would you have been...
Yeah, how would you feel about Steve Bannon coming to have a debate with somebody?
I honestly think it's kind of like, you know when they, and there's new shows when they bring...
on camera, by the way, with that? Or I can keep pointing it away. But
You can point it at me.
I guess, I mean, you can point it at me, I don't know.
God, it's just easier to watch if you can see a bit of face to the name.
Well, so I think that this kind of 1v1 debate format is also misleading, right? You look at climate change debates and they have a denier and a supporter.
I think I've seen the same video that you've probably got.
Right. And I think it's just something that's been like in the discourse regarding those debates for quite a while.
Sure.
But there's a false equivalency being made when you like put one-on-one these two people against each other, as if both views have the same amount of claim to legitimacy and claim to support. I think
because they don't have the same amount of support doesn't mean they don't have the same claim to legitimacy.
What are they saying now?
I don't know. They've heard this a lot.
Max. What were they just shouting? No what? Okay. How do you feel about? I'm interested. I'm just listening to the thing they're chanting. for instance, I'd imagine you've been chanting with them
Who
for a while
collects the
now.
fascists, police protect?
That's the main one that I'm interested in. Who
Yeah.
protects the fascists? Police protect the fascists. What,
Yeah.
what does that mean? What are you trying to get across with that chant?
So, I mean, it's a particular situation in the U.S., which is like obviously right, what a milieu that I'm kind of familiar with.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Perhaps ingrained discrimination in the system so easily they fascism. Because I mean.
Well, yeah, it's not necessarily just ingrained discrimination, right? It's use of a kind of militarized police force and like to stem the kind of like peaceful protests that the U.S. has been trying to have. You'll get like Black Lives Matter
in this
and Ferguson,
situation.
right?
Oh, I agree.
Okay.
It's police on the other side of the protest.
Will do. Well, just
have been
watch the live
protecting
stream,
protesters
Yeah.
and using their protest whilst the protesters are yelling.
See you later.
Police
So,
protect fascists.
I think there's
Are
a
the
big
protesters
difference.
calling themselves fascists?
So I think there's a big difference between talking about the individual officers that might be here at this protest at this very moment, and talking about the police system as a system within the institutional kind of complex that is like the U.S. government, for example.
What do you
right?
think the role of the police is, just broadly speaking? What's the role of the police? What should they be doing?
What should they be doing?
Yeah, what's the role? Like, what's their purpose?
Their stated purpose, or what their de facto kind of purpose?
What should be their purpose?
is. What should be their
What
purpose?
should they be
I mean,
doing?
I think like the idealist to me, right? In an ideal world, we wouldn't need a militarized police to the extent that we have it here, right?
Okay, so what would the police be doing? What would they be for?
I think ideally we would have a system where we don't need police and we can like.
I mean, if you hold a practical.
Is that an Antifa The only reason I ask is I think that the purpose of the police is to obviously uphold the law, and if the law is doing its job, it should be to protect people's rights.
Yeah,
So one of those rights is freedom of expression, freedom of speech, but the thing is, it's not just somebody's right to speak. So for instance, if you stop people from seeing Bannon, you're not just preventing Steve Bannon's right to free speech, you're restricting other people's right to go and listen to him. And to me, the police's job is to protect the rights of people like myself, to, if I choose to, go and listen to someone like that. So I think that if you're saying that the police protect Nazis, I'm interested in if you think that's really what's happening here, and if you think that is necessarily a bad thing, if the ideology is being presented without any kind of violence. Should the police not protect people's right to hold abhorrent views?
So I guess there's like a few different things that you just said that I kind of want to suss out, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So one of them is a notion of free speech, which not only includes freedom to speak, but freedom to access certain perspectives. Is that basically what what the position is? So I think that, I mean, freedom of speech is such a kind of amorphous concept, right? Like initially, the notion of freedom of speech came about as a response to kind of governmental regulation, right? Freedom of speech is mostly a kind of like negative liberty insofar as it's supposed to be related to what the government can and cannot like admit its population to say. And so I think that's just kind of like a different order of things than the Oxford Union, right? Free speech, I don't think has anything to say about the nature of like Oxford Union. Insofar as it's like a university, it's not. And it's a different type of platform, so I think it's a category mistake to try and apply that in the same way to an institution like
I agree.
Right?
One of the arguments I've been hearing from the other side is that by not platforming Steve Bannon, the Oxford Union would be against free speech. But I agree with you. It's one thing, you can be pro free speech without necessarily platforming anybody who wants a platform. However, once that platform has been granted, even if you disagree with that, if people want to listen to it, at that point, when the protest is no longer about the platform, but now stopping people from going to listen to an event that is happening, that seems to become a free speech issue.
So I guess the ground that people here aren't giving up. I obviously can't speak for everyone.
I can't see them going up.
But I think what people are questioning is the legitimacy of that platform, right?
I was talking to him earlier. Go ahead.
But I think, your argument, I think presupposes that once Oxford has granted Bannon this platform, that platform itself is just legitimized, and like the debate's over there, right? We have to just take that as a given and then see what to do from there. But I think the pushback, right, is against the legitimacy of that very platform. And if that platform shouldn't have given and isn't legitimate, then I think that the kind of resistance to it is like perfectly wrong, right? So I think I would kind of try and push back against the idea that, like, because of the Oxford Union, like, gave him in this platform in, like, you know, this very, like, procedural or, like, sense, then it's somehow, like, legitimated, and I don't think that's necessarily...
So if you was an issue of legitimacy rather than freedom of speech?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. I think the opposition here is, like, not really against, like, if Steve Bannon were on a corner, right, just, like, saying whatever he wants, I think this would be a completely different issue.
Okay.
The issue here is with the validity of the platforming itself.
Well, look, I want to go and speak to more people. Thank you so much. What's your name?
Leo.
Alex, nice to meet you. Have a good afternoon.
White supremacy! White supremacy! White supremacy! White supremacy! White supremacy! Out, out, out! Out, out, out!
In fact, the left here are just trying to close down debates. When I was at Oxford, we had Oswald Reagan. Yeah, I'm not a fascist. His views are very close to those of Jeremy Corbyn, anti-Semitism, state control. But they have the right to speak. These people are just trying to close down freedom and freedom of speech. Are you going to publish my views?
This one practice law.
Is it for television?
Let in all the refugees! 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 Hold their line! 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 Hold their line!
Perhaps if you'd like a chance to speak, you can come and speak to me on camera for a moment. If you want to give some opinion. If you want to go somewhere a bit quieter, perhaps. Just going to speak to this gentleman. No, I'm just going to... excuse me.
Is this for what's this for?
Just for YouTube. I'm just here interviewing as many people as I can.
For television or?
Just it's like online television. It's just YouTube.
What's the channel?
It's not a politically affiliated channel, if that's what you're asking. So do you mind being on camera? What's your name? Well, nice to meet you. I'm Alex. I'm just basically I've spoken to a few people here who are part of the protest, and it seems to get a little bit confused and tricky. I'm interested in why you're opposing the protest.
The reason I'm opposing them is that they are closing down free speech. Every time I try to speak, all they would do is shout. On the other side, literally putting a megaphone in my face. That is fascist behaviour. I don't support Bannon. The Bannon isn't a fascist. He's a laissez-faire liberal, actually. But he has the right to speak. When I was at Oxford, we had Oswald Reagan. He was a fascist. And his views very close to those of Jeremy Corbyn, of course. Nationalisation, state control, anti-Semitism.
Do you remember, was there similar protests when Oswald came to speak?
Very slight. The point was made that he should be heard. And it's a very disturbing development in our country that people wanting to go to a legal meeting, these people will try and stop them.
Yes.
That is appalling.
Did you come to attend the event yourself?
No.
You just passing through. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for speaking. I appreciate it. Excuse me, officers. I take it nothing's happened, no event. It's not. People aren't getting in. Is there any?
I'm not able to comment on it. Speak to the union.
Speak to the union. Okay. It seems as though
the VP attacks.
The impression that I get is we've been trying to get into. The protests have made it such that everything's had to be shut down. The police don't seem to know quite what's going on. I haven't been able to get my chances, but I don't think we're going to be getting in anytime soon. Although there's some movement happening here.
Fuck the bash! 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 Fuck the bash!
Well, why don't you go and fuck yourself then? It's not over, although it looks less busy. Perhaps there's a way through. Let's go and see.
Follow you.
Let's see if there's a way through.
Yeah.
Who protects the Nazis? The Union protects the Nazis. Who is the enemy? White supremacy. 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 No Bannon, no KKK. No fascist USA. 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 No Bannon, no KKK. No fascist USA.
Any information about what's going on, people being able to get in?
Have you contacted the union?
Yeah, we've tried to
Have you
contact
contacted?
They don't. My friends don't say that. We don't. They,
It's not down to us, it's down to the union.
From Palestine to Mexico. All these wars have got to go. Who is the enemy?
don't know how well everybody can see who's watching. We've got some people, some balaclava-ridden people at the back there.
Who is the enemy?
No, it's fine. How's it going?
Who is the enemy?
Yeah, do you do. I mean, do you mind? I'm just filming some stuff. Maybe do you want to talk on camera about what? No, it's not. Okay. There's a lot of people here. It looks like we're trying to get in. I get the impression they're not giving up easy.
The union protects the fascists. Who is the enemy? White supremacy. Who is the enemy? White supremacy. Who is the enemy? White supremacy. Who is the enemy? White supremacy.
They're posing for a photo now, it looks like. Should we go and get in it?
No Bannon, no KKK. No fascist USA. No Bannon, no KKK. No fascist USA. No Bannon, no KKK. No fascist USA. No Bannon,
I think the paper's just in case he forgets the words. Okay, this isn't working.
Sing it loud, sing it clear. Sing it loud, sing it clear.
Maybe if you've got a number. We're going to head back round to the other entrance. Saw a bunch of people, so there was a big group that you could quite clearly see on the front side, stopping people from getting through. But even if you manage to make your way through the crowd, there's a line of people in balaclava stopping people at the final push for the door. I don't know what the union's doing about this, but we'll have to find out.
Black women, immigrants, all the boxes.
Right,
I
I'm with you.
I don't feel comfortable being in that protest because it's just shutting down something that should not be allowed.
Does Let's Talk include talking on camera? Would you mind? Fantastic. I'm just here trying to interview lots of people and get them talking about why they're here. It seems as though can I just don't hate, engage in academic debate. So you're opposing the protests here? Is that what you're doing?
No, we're not opposing the protest.
Okay.
Our entire thing is freedom of expression. So
Yeah.
they're absolutely within their right to protest, and I admire the fact that they've sort of organised themselves. We are essentially just against stopping the talk. We are in favour of the talk.
Of the talks happening.
Of the talk
Yeah.
happening.
The thing I've been asking most people is that I get a separable supporting the right to protest, but at the moment the protest is stopping people from getting into the union. Are you sort of okay with one but not the other kind of thing? Is that the situation?
I think if they were protesting and they kind of line themselves along the street and anyone who wanted to go into the union would be like chanting out or whatever, that's fine.
It doesn't look like it. I've converted to live streaming.
It's fine. My main issue is stopping people from going in because if we're not going to engage with these ideas and we just very arrogantly pretend that the alt-right isn't happening, that the far-right movement is just a fringe movement, that's arrogant. At the end of the day, it is happening. He does have platforms, his own platforms. If we swipe it under the sweep it under the carpet and pretend like his ideas aren't worth engaging for, they're still going to be there. They're still going to be there.
If we block people coming into the debate, it doesn't stop them saying it. And he's saying it in America, he's saying it across the world. This is everywhere. This is on YouTube. Anyone can put this up, so we need to challenge it. This is our way of challenging it.
If this was the 19th century and the Oxford Union was like one of the only places, the only platforms, then fine. But he literally, like Breitbart mirrors the entire internet. We can't be arrogant enough to assume that, just because Oxford doesn't allow it, that means it's an idea.
Do you think the protests are acting against their own interests by causing more focus and attention on Steve Bannon?
Yes, exactly. I baffles me. The entire thing with the alt-right is our views aren't represented. The establishment doesn't want to hear us, so we're going to go to the far right.
They saw them trying to get into the union.
Attracts a lot of words. A lot of
Sure, yeah.
Then sort of reactionary. They kind of think like, well,
Yeah, so they didn't want me to go and they didn't want me to go and criticise.
Do you think though that there's any limit to the let's say extremity of somebody's views or somebody's platform that you would be okay with some kind of protest? Like, is there any kind of speak, any level of abhorrence, extremism, whatever it may be, not necessarily attributing those things to Steve Bannon, but in a hypothetical? Do you think that there's any point at which you would say, actually, no, I do think we should stop people from going and listening to the union?
I personally don't think so. No, I think as much as I disagree with a view, and when I just say that, I don't mean like, I think that's bad. I think if they were to revive an actual slave trader from the 19th century and bring him to the Oxford Union, I would go. And I would go, and then I would rip him to shreds through my discourse and through my arguments and whatever, but I would go. And I think in today's environment, where everybody has a platform anyway, I don't think that blocking Bannon from speaking here is going to be effective at all.
Can you understand what's going on over here? Like, does it make any sense to you, or is it just completely like they just do not see that they're working against their own interests?
I think I understand the anger and I understand the frustration and I understand the emotions, but I think that in order to have a properly strong protest, a strong challenge to what is a strong movement, whether we like it or not, the emotion is not the way to go. Because what's happening here is that people see this on YouTube, it's like, the hysterical left is at it again, the social justice warriors are at it again.
And the moderate left of off.
Exactly. And it's just sort of, it's so militaristic, the megaphone, the screeching, all of that. That's why we purposely, we didn't bring a megaphone or anything. We're not yelling.
You're not wearing balaclavas like some of the people around the corner. the people blocking the other end.
Antifa or something.
It seems like, it's got all the hallmarks of a group like that. But you'd consider yourself a leftist, I think I heard you say earlier?
I'm sort of politically not entirely sure. I think I'm quite average in my views.
So do you think it's the responsibility of the left to condemn this form of protest because of the fact that it puts people off joining the left? and might push them towards the right?
I don't think. The left. You're saying like the left should condemn that. That's quite a. That's for the assumption that like Jeremy Corbyn himself should say no to this. I mean, essentially this is a popular movement, and a popular movement is always going to be a popular movement. So the only way I think to sort of condemn this or counter this is by other leftist people taking a step back and thinking, hang on a second, is this really the way to go about it? And that's essentially what we've tried to do here.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think any sort of public statement of don't do this is working. I mean, they have the right to be here, and they are exercising their rights. I just think that what they're doing is cowardly and just a bit. It's like they're shooting a very well-meant arrow, but it's just not.
It's not hitting the mark.
It's just not hitting.
All right.
the mark.
Well, thanks for talking. Thanks for being so level-headed as well. What was your name?
Maya
It's Alex. But yeah, thanks for talking. I'll try and maybe I can talk to some of your other friends actually. Oh, it looks like this conversation is in progress. We're trying to get as many views as possible, you know. But,
Yeah. What's this for, by the way?
I have a YouTube channel, and I'm currently live streaming to it. Which feel free to look it up. It would be under the name Cosmic Skeptic. And I'm live streaming right now, and I'll probably keep the video up to upload it later. So,
How do you spell that?
I'll type it in for you.
Artificial meat. These two causes get less than 2% of the money.
Just like that. I'm not sure if the video will be immediately up because it takes some time to process, but once it's there, yeah, it will. I'm going to keep everything up. I'm
Yeah,
trying
absolutely.
to show people what I can. But thank you.
Nobody has discovered yet.
It's about effective charity.
It's about picking the low-hanging fruits, and there's a lot of these.
Yeah, okay. So like being efficient with charity and...
Right now, when these people would give to charity if they knew, there's a controversy charity.
It was pretty horrific. Has it got worse? Is it like bigger or smaller? Is it bigger or smaller?
Obscure branches of several sciences that might be important for the sake of the world. But for example, the theoretical hostile superiority within the next 50 years is very, very real. That is my area of expertise, for example.
Excuse me, mind if I ask you about your sign? Mind if I ask you about your sign? I'm just doing some filming. Would you mind being on the camera? I was just talking to your friend, Maya. Basically, I didn't plan on doing this today, but I didn't expect this to be happening. So, rather than my first plan, which was to go and see the talk, I've decided to just come and talk to some people who are protesting, who are going against the protest, whatever. So your sign says, challenge, don't silence. And that's in reference to silencing Steve Bannon?
Yeah. So I think the point is, I'm speaking for myself here, but I think that freedom of speech is a fundamental right.
Sure.
Steve Bannon does have the right to speak as much as we have the right to challenge him. So if we ban him, if we stay silent, nothing can change.
Sure.
We can't revoice our support or opposition. If it does come, first of all, making it fundamental, making a stand. The fact that if you could come, then so could others.
Yeah.
Secondly, we could challenge the police.
What do you think about the protest that's happening just here? So as far as my understanding, it's a very vibrant protest, obviously, but it's also prevented anybody from getting into the union. How much do you think that falls under the umbrella of their freedom of speech to protest?
First of all, I guess in principle, I can't be a hypocrite. I have to say, they do have rights to protest. As you mentioned, let's look at the consequences of that. They are effectively preventing people from getting in. So that's really infantile, isn't it? It's not really much of a thing.
Sure. So I take it that the main problem you have with this is the fact that people can't get into CC Bannon if they want to.
Yes. I mean, personally, I might not agree with the principles. I do support the right to voice them, but they have the right to abstain from going in themselves, because that's what they make.
Right.
They have the freedom to prevent others from doing that. They're taking away others' rights, aren't they?
Yeah. I'll ask you a question that I've asked a few people who agree with you there. Do you think that there is any type of speaker, any type of speech that does warrant this kind of blockage, this kind of embargo from people getting in?
I'm speaking for myself anyway.
Sure. So there's nothing that somebody could say or stand for that would make you say that people should not be allowed to go and hear them speak at an event?
I suppose the one line I wouldn't cross is like incitement to violence. That's illegal. So I mean, I think it's pointless to stay down because the police will come and take the bus away anyway. So I think aside from that, no, I mean people should have the right to speak. That's my view.
Great. Well, thank you very much, and thanks for being here and creating a bit of discussion. Yeah, good to meet you. I agree.
Yes, so good.
Okay. Right. Good to meet you. Thanks for talking. How's it going? Yes. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. That's kind of you. Are you just sort of passing by, or?
Yeah, I'm studying psychiatry here, so
Right. Okay.
I want to hear him talk.
Well, I'm just live streaming at the moment. I could, if you fancy it, I could hear like why you're here, what you're speaking. So
Actually, I kind of think that maybe I didn't know your point of view about all this stuff, but I think that it just if it's freedom of speech, mine is freedom of speech for everyone. We just need we don't have to agree with him.
What about the so how do you feel about the protest? What about the freedom to protest and do this?
Freedom of protest, but the fact that they're blocking and also it's kind of ironic that they like one of the chants was like no borders.
Yeah.
They were chanting about the border and making the border.
They seem to. That's quite interesting. Yeah,
Yes.
they're making a border while chanting about no borders. And I also find it very interesting that they're adopting lots of kind of these phrases that you hear all the time thrown around about borders and immigrants, but really don't have all that much to do with the protest. It's like it began with protests about the police shouldn't be protecting people like Steve Bannon, and then all of a sudden it turned into this political endeavour. You might not have heard it, but
I think it's kind of all of the stuff, all of these different like mottos. They sort like they kind of fuel the different kind of people.
Sure.
I would say.
Yeah.
So I think that, so the idea for the whole thing was about the police protecting Bannon.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't know that. But
Well, one of the things that they're shouting was something along the lines of who protects Nazis, the police protect Nazis. And of course, while they were doing it was the police who were protecting Bannon. I found that to be something of an irony. But that was one of the things that they were originally protesting. But like, why do you think they're doing this? Do you have any idea why you think people are protesting?
I can understand. Right? So I think it also depends on me being from Russia. We have issues with us here, right? So for me, it's kind of important to give both sides like to talk. But I guess for other people, it's more the issue being progress, being rights violated. They just care about that stuff. So it's just it's just having a question of waiting to wait more. Like more of emotional.
Yeah, I think I agree. It's just amazing to see this happening. I've never seen anything like it in this city. Blowing me away. I'm just trying to sort of get as many while people are here and so riled up. I want to try and hear as many people as possible.
Points.
I've just been speaking to. So I originally was speaking to some protesters. Then I was speaking to some people who come see the talk. Then I spoke to some people over here who are quite reasonably challenging the protests. And inevitably there are going to be some people coming and challenging the protest. So it's just gonna go on. And there's a flag over here of sorts. Oh, it's a flag of Europe. The European Union. But yeah, it's been quite good. I'm going to sort of see if I can find some more people. I don't know if you're sticking around. No, the event stuff isn't happening. But
I'll go have a
I'm going to carry on walking around. Feel free to tag along, or if you're heading off or whatever. I might see if there are some people for the signs that might want to see. Tag along. Have a conversation. It just depends on who's willing to speak. Excuse me. I don't suppose I speak on sign. I'm just doing some live streaming. I don't suppose you mind talking on camera about why you're here, what you're doing, your views.
Who are you?
I'm just a YouTuber. I'm not part of. I'm not like a journalist. Or anything like
YouTuber?
that.
What does that mean? I have no idea.
He wants to talk to you, put it on YouTube.
Yeah, I just want to. Feel free to say no. I'm just talking to some people, trying to get because obviously people being here with their signs gives me the impression that they want to be heard. So I'm trying to give people an opportunity to speak to
I
the
don't really
audience.
understand all this.
You don't understand
I've just come down to see what's going on.
You've just come down. So you're just from Oxford, sort of walking past.
Yeah, I've come down to see what's going on. And,
Do you know the situation? Do you know what's... So do you know who Steve Bannon is? He's he was in the White House with Donald Trump, and he was invited to speak at the Oxford Union, which was just there, and lots of people thought that he shouldn't be allowed to speak. Well, I came here originally to go and see the event, and I think one of the popular opinions here is that a lot of people don't like what he has to say. They don't agree with him, but they want to go and listen to him anyway. And even if what he's saying is pretty terrible, people don't like the idea that people aren't being able to go and listen to it anyway. Do you think that I mean, how do you feel about freedom of speech? Should people be able to say whatever they want? Should there be things that are restricted?
Those people over there, they're the people who want to be heard, like you.
Yes. I've just had a word with them, so that they're just saying that rather than stopping people from getting into the union, they should be challenging and debating Steve Bannon in the union. So rather than stopping them from listening to him, they should engage with him.
I mean, the government got far-right people in, like, Islamic
Right. So do you think?
Why, if the government stops them, why do they give Steve Bannon the
Why do you think the government does stop Islamic terrorists from operating in the UK? Do you think it's so much to do with what they believe and say, or do you think it's more to do with what they do? Do you think it's the danger of the ideology or the danger of the terrorist acts? Both. So where would you?
Because there are enough people in this country who are sort of on the edge of maybe who would join something like an organisation that he wants to start. And you know, the more they hear about it, they can hear about it on the internet.
On the internet, yes.
So I mean, as you say.
So where do you? So you seem to be condoning a level of government censorship of certain views if they're really bad. Where do you think the line should be drawn? Like, is there? How bad does somebody have to be before the government can step in and say you're not allowed to say that? I mean, is there an example of particular types of views that are like on the edge?
People say it, but then they do things. I mean, the people, presumably the people they've stopped coming in are the people who've been to prison for violence and what they've done, you know.
Sure. Okay, so it's more about what people do rather than what they say.
People do, yeah.
So in a situation like Steve Bannon, who's the man speaking here,
Is he in there now?
I don't know, and I don't think they'd want anybody out here to know either, because they'd probably start jumping the fence. I don't know what time the speakers arrive. If he is here, then he's been in there for hours and hasn't been able to leave. But I reckon that they probably just saw the protest and didn't turn around. I would have done, but it looks like the event's basically cancelled. It should have started some 2 hours ago or something like that, but no one's been able to get in, so at the moment now it's basically just a big protest.
So was all this protest in advance, was it?
Yes, in advance. So people heard that Steve Bannon was coming. He was someone who you know they disagreed with. They didn't like what he had to say, and so they protested to the extent that people weren't being allowed to get into the union.
What do you think about the situation?
Oh well, like I say, I was originally here to go to the event, and I'm of the absolute opinion. I agree with what you said a moment ago, that it's more about what people do rather than what they say. And so if he's just coming here to speak, I see no problem with allowing people to firstly.
But then if
absolutely.
if what happens is that people hear it, and then just like the Joe Cox, they go on
Right.
and follow and do something which is violent.
So in the instance of the murder of Joe Cox, do you think that the responsibility for that murder lies with the person who pulled the trigger, or the person who said the right-wing propaganda that caused that person to go and kill? Do you think that somebody who spreads right-wing propaganda, which then leads to somebody else, without them telling them to directly, going and murdering an MP, do you think they should be, say, held responsible for the murder?
What do you think?
They can't be held responsible for the actual murder.
Right.
That's done by agents. But they can be responsible for stirring up the feelings that it's okay to murder an MP.
So what do you think is the most effective way to try to convince these people of these right-wing extremist views, how to talk them out of their views? Do you think that it's more effective to...
I don't think it's... I think it's very difficult to they arise out of something that's deeper in their history, their background,
Right.
You know, which we can't know about. We don't look into people's lives and realise
Okay.
why they
Yeah. So since you're here with a sign, what do you think of the view that I've heard that, for instance, I've never seen this many people on this road before. I've never seen it. you think there's something to be said for the idea that if you don't want people to be listening to someone like Steve Bannon, that by causing this protest and having so many people come and be attracted by it, it's going to cause more people to be interested in what he has to say? Do you think there's any truth in that? It seems to give him, it seems to give him more importance. It makes people think that this guy has something to say, whether it's good or bad. He must have something pretty important to say because there's so many people talking about it. So do you think that the protest might be working against itself?
Just do it here, not there.
Hey Ollie, how's it going? I've been doing some live streaming. I'm talking to some people. It's been quite fun actually. I've been talking to a lot of people. Did you just get here?
No, I didn't have to.
Have you just been like checking out the protests and stuff?
No,
or trying to get in? Yeah, no chance.
not gonna
No chance. They locked the doors and the police. I spoke to the police and they just didn't want to. They didn't want to.
Yeah. I mean, they couldn't, because just how you would sit there to be like, you're here to.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
This is insane.
It's insane, isn't it? It's absolutely crazy.
You may go
I've been interviewing people. I don't know whether to call it a day now because it's. I've been going for like an hour or so. I think I'm just gonna call it this live stream and then I'll just be 1 second. This is going to be on YouTube as long as that's okay. I can give you the link in a second if you'd like. I'm actually just going to close up the live stream because I think I've done about an hour. I'll just be 1 second. So I've been doing this for about an hour now. I've been speaking to a lot of people. No, it's just live. There's going to be no editing of what you said. And in fact, if I've done anything that you think is I mean, after the fact, if you see the video and you think that I've done something to misrepresent, you just let me know. Send me an email. I can rectify that immediately. Okay. Well, I've been interviewing people for about an hour now. I've seen a lot of different opinions. I wanna just close this up. If anything else interesting happens, then I'll do some filming. But I thought it'd be interesting to just do a live stream since my first plan of coming to the event didn't quite go to plan. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. This video is going to be available after the fact as well. But yeah, updates on Twitter if anything interesting happens. So thank you all for watching.